clear, my wife said, you should tell this story. I wonder if my wife set me up for failure.
Yeah,
what if my wife is just building the case for divorce? Know me. I love road rage.
Oh, God, I know you do.
I love road rage. First off, let me just tell you my school of thought on road rage. Usually how they come up to you is they go, hey, daddy, or they're like, are you lonely? Or, hey, do you have a girlfriend? Or are you here with someone? They always teach you the same thing. They also are always dressed the same way. They're usually in a black dress. They have a giant bag. Most of the time they're sitting on a machine without any money in it, just hitting the button because they're avoiding security. It's funny because most road rage ends in people like their blood pressure through the roof. They're screaming. Mine usually has them looking at you going, how fucking funny was that? Like I'm just doing it because unnecessarily doing road rage a lot of times for no reason. It's also just a funny story. It's deserving. It's me getting what I probably deserved.
I can't wait for AI to make Scrappy Mike as the image for this podcast. So that's my favorite part. You'll be like
Scooby-Doo and I'll be Scrappy.
No, it's something like that. Yeah.
All right. Gross, I guess. I'm sorry. $5,000 a dude she gets paid to go out to Dubai and do that, which is crazy because you always see those girls on Instagram being like on yachts in Dubai, and you now have to think about what they're doing. One of my absolute favorite things to do is to read reviews on hookers.
Everyone knows you're mean. Hey, everyone. It's Mike and Tom from Oh Great This Show. Shout out this episode. Shout out to Dennis. Boom. You know who you are. Always in that comments. Always watching those videos. Sending me those marketplace listings. I don't need them unless you're paying for them. Oof. This is gonna be a fun episode because this
Tom,
is gonna
you got daddy's money.
I don't have daddy's money.
You sure?
When does that start happening?
Yeah, when does that happen?
When does that happen?
Shout out to Dennis, though.
Shout out to Dennis. I also wasn't going to put it out there that had any relation to him, but thanks for that one. Thanks for always putting my business out there. This is going to be a fun episode because we're going to put all Mike's business out there now.
Oh, we are.
There's a lot of stories
my God.
that I don't know that you were about to share with me.
Well, let me just put this in record. It's going to be... One of the stories is funny. The last one, I think.
Okay.
If we're doing it in the order,
we're putting them in a hierarchy.
Yeah, that's kind of a funny story. The second one, I think is funny.
Oh God, which means I'm not going to think it's funny.
And this first one, I wrestled with it. I consulted with my wife.
Yeah.
And I said, "You think I should tell this?" And she went, "Oh yeah."
Is this going to be?
She maniacally laughed.
Is this going to shine me in a bad light or just you?
Just me.
Okay. All right. I like it then.
Maybe.
That's fine.
I don't know. Maybe I'm not the only person. Maybe I'll find out I'm not the only person about this. Well, you don't know what it is yet.
Oh, the big sigh. It makes me so excited for this right now. This is a host show if you guys haven't picked up on it. And Tom, the host is Mike.
First off, because you suck at intros. Oh, great this show. Thanks for watching. Make sure to subscribe. We have a Patreon. Sign up for $1. I will do more uncomfortable things the more money you give us.
The more investors we have to our Patreon, the video I have on my phone of you getting popped in the face will go live.
You do have a video
and I cannot wait.
Firing a gun that hits me in the face.
Yes, it does. And then you do this little stumble backwards.
How much money do we have to make?
We have to get 25 people to subscribe.
That's 20. That could be $25 a month.
I'm willing to leak it for $25 a month.
That's not fair. I have to be able to counter. I would pay more. I think it's when we get to $1,000 a month in Patreon.
Total.
Then I'll say okay. And it's a glorious video.
Hey, there's some deep pocket guys that watch this video. You want to see this video. He does this little stumble thing backwards with it too.
It's the worst.
It's fantastic.
All right. So
to be honest with you, we could probably just leak that video out and probably get enough money and just views to
please don't, because it's one of those things where it's like the goddamn fat kid with the laser sword. What do they call it? I'm not a nerd. Lightsaber. The lightsaber in the garage. Every part of that video just looks terrible.
You're not a nerd.
Okay.
Continue.
I'm not that nerdy. I have a gun.
and it pops you in the face. You shot your eye out.
I did shoot my eye out. All right, Tom. No one knows about me.
Yeah, I'm
except for my
nervous.
wife.
I'm very nervous about this.
And I'll tell you, if you wanted me to tell you how I told my wife one day, okay? Here's the thing, Tom. I have a hobby, okay? You know I have many hobbies.
Yeah, you do.
Okay? I'm passionate about my hobbies.
You are.
Okay. One of my favorite things to do You ever thought about how you're about to tell the world
Yeah.
something that no one knows except
They
for your
probably
wife?
shouldn't know, but yeah, continue.
One of my absolute favorite things to do is to read reviews on hookers. I love reading reviews for hookers and escorts. I have for years. Okay? I love it. And it might seem odd, but there are a lot of websites that people can leave reviews of hookers.
Okay.
But you have to pay for these sites. Because, and I'm just going to be upfront and honest, most of these sites, they're built in to be able to find a hooker. I'm not looking for hookers, Tom.
No.
I love reading the reviews about said hookers. My God. You thought our comments were unhinged, bro. The stuff that people say about hookers blows my mind. It's like reading a good book. Okay. You can't put it down.
You can't stop.
So I'm going to assume, Tom, this is a safe assumption.
Probably.
You've never read a review on a hooker.
I have not, no.
Probably never even thought about doing it.
No, I never knew about this.
All right. So my story, if you will,
Yep.
was that I like Reddit a lot.
Yep.
Okay. And 4chan, been on there too, if you're, a little more unhinged. I came across once a post, and I can't remember if this was many, many years ago. Right. I can't remember if it was 4chan or Reddit, but someone asked, how can you find a hooker? Right. And I thought that was a funny thread. Yeah. And I was just dialed in because I thought it was hysterical. And it was a lot of people just being like, oh, you gotta go like walk the streets, or, people are like, just find a girl at 2 a.m. that's walking down and you'll know she's a hooker. But then someone said, you go to this website. And I don't even remember what the original website was. And I was like, what? There's a website you can look up hookers? And I went there, and goddamn, sure as enough you could. Now, this was years ago. And I thought it was funny, right? Because I was like, oh, that's funny, right? Because if you're a hooker, you write like a little description, like you're a car for sale. I thought it was funny. So I became like
low
obsessed
mileage,
with reading these.
1993.
Yeah, but I mean, you're not that far wrong. Okay, that's the funny part. But it was like a lot, the way they would describe things. But again, they were trying to hide what they were doing, I guess, to stay off the police grid. So it was very funny reading these things. And there's a whole, if you've been on Urban Dictionary,
okay,
there is a whole slew of terms they use to describe their services, so they're not describing. So you got to know this whole, like,
I would say, so you're well versed in this.
Yeah. Oh, I am now. Because when you read the reviews, you go, what does that even mean? Like you'll hear, I'm dining at the Y. What does that even mean? I didn't know what that mean. That means you're going to go down on a hooker, Tom.
Okay.
And that sounds crazy. Okay. I don't know. I can't tell you what to do. I'm not your dad. I'm not Dennis. But I'm going to tell you this one piece of advice on this show, okay?
Just constantly put my business out there.
You don't want to go down on a hooker.
No, I don't want anything to do with this.
I'm going to tell you, if you buy a new car, it's fresh, okay? Hooker is not a new car, okay? So
it's like Chrysler LeBaron.
Just saying. It's a Chrysler LeBaron. Okay, so here's the thing. I remember thinking that was funny, okay? So fast forward, some time passed. And then I discovered that there was another site. But the point of this other site was that people could leave reviews. Okay?
It's like Yelp.
And let me clear. You know who's going to love this episode? Dewey.
Of course he
Dewey is going to love this episode.
Dewey's thick in it.
I think that this website was called like Tug Maps.
How do you even come across this? Our internet searches are vastly different.
Okay. And what it was a site that basically showed you all the massage parlors in the country. But the reason, again, where we got to rent? What? No, not for rent. Not for this new studio. But where I'm going with this is this had reviews. Okay. So you could search all the jerk off massage parlors nearby and you could find the reviews. They were rated like a 5-star, like a Google review, but jerking off places. Jesus. And it was hysterical to me.
I bet.
Okay. I spent like all day wherever I worked at that time just reading reviews.
The perks of being in the IT department is you can do things like that.
Because it was like, and again, Tom, this is like, just so we're clear, we're talking like a long time ago. All right. It would be like, hi, my name's Jim. I went down to Mama Son's like Asian parlor on 40th 4th Street. I met the mama san. I gave her the money. And then who entered my room was an 80-year-old woman. And it was disgusting. Now, I didn't expect her blowjob to be so good. And you'd be like, wait a minute.
What?
You said it was disgusting, but you still went through with it. So
Well, this episode didn't get monetized.
I was hooked on reading these things.
I
right?
bet.
I was
bet.
hooked. So I was just like hours I would scroll through. Now, at some point, I think that they changed their website where you had to pay to read the reviews.
Oh, there's a paywall now?
There was a paywall.
God damn it.
All right, I got really mad and I got rid of it. I was like, I'm not going to pay for reading these reviews, although I missed it. All right. Much like how the ladies love reading porn, it was almost as if it was my romantic novel.
It's your smut.
Yep.
It's your smut book.
Again, I remember one day thinking, God, I haven't read reviews in a long time. I missed that. Like fan fiction. You know, you think about it and you go, God, I'd like to read that again.
You just want to be Joe, Dirty Joe with the 80-year-old?
So I Googled like escort reviews and it came up with this site. And again, I went to the site and I don't remember what the site was because this is when I met my now wife, but girlfriend at the time.
And she comes over. What the fuck are you doing?
Well, it's funny because here's the thing. When you're a person perusing escort site, you gotta listen. You got two choices. You gotta try to hide that, or you gotta explain it.
You just gotta go. You gotta double down.
Okay, so I went and found this site, no paywall.
Okay,
and I was reading reviews. Now these were not jerk off place. This like a jerk. What do they call? Isn't there a jerk shack? Don't
You're
they have a
asking the
name
wrong
for 'em?
guy.
Asian.
Can you phone a friend?
Dewey. Hey, Dewey, comment below what the nickname for those places are.
Sure,
Actually, comment below on what your favorite nickname for the Asian massage parlors are. Okay, so this was like
just went on the
legit
internet.
searching for escorts, right? And it had reviews.
Okay.
And again, day one, I was lost because they would speak in code and I didn't understand the code. So it took me some research, but my God, dude, you would like, it would be like, Henry 6969XOXOXO.
Were you like Nicolas Cage in what's the movie where he's the glasses and he's reading the Declaration of Independence on the back of it?
Are you talking about National Treasure?
Yeah, National Treasure. Thank you. There you go.
Yeah, I mean, kind of. I mean, maybe not. I didn't have to like
Of the
light
city-
a torch and
of the
wait
city
for the
underground.
sun. I just had to figure out what like Dine at the Y or FS and all these terms meant. Like I had to find out what all these terms meant. But nonetheless, so I'm reading them and it would be like, again, Henry 6969XOXO would be like, well, I booked Cynthia for 3 hours at my hotel room while I was in town. And I immediately went down on the wettest pussy I've ever tasted in my
my
life.
God.
And I'm like, this is disgusting. But then he would be like, it tasted salty. And I'm like, bro, it tastes salty because other dudes have been coming in that thing.
Oh my God. I don't know.
Is this too much for you?
This may be a little bit too much
right.
for the internet.
Well, I'm just, you know what? I'm being honest with a hobby of mine. Okay.
Okay. Yeah.
It's
Yep.
unhinged. Now, listen, because I don't want to offend anybody. I don't want to lose anybody on this show.
Oh, okay.
Not a kid's show.
No.
Okay. But I want to tell you this. When I met my wife, I said, hey, listen, a beautiful, amazing girlfriend, not wife yet, future wife, future mother of my child. I need you to know that I got a really weird hobby. Okay? And she was like, what's your weird hobby? And I was like, I like to read reviews of hookers. And she was like, excuse me? And I showed her. I was like, look, these things are funny as hell. This guy is talking about how she left. She took the money and left. And this guy's talking about how her nipples tasted like pennies. Like, it's just so funny to me. And she was like, okay, odd, but I appreciate the honesty, right? So it's always been this running joke. She'll always take a little dig at me, right? She's like, you read your little hooker reviews today? Like, how's your little hooker reviews? And I'm like, but I say all this to say, my favorite hooker review ever. Although I never forget Henry talking about the wet, salty vagina, right? I can't ever think about Henry. But here's my favorite review ever. And I shared this one immediately with my wife. Tom, you know we have a guinea pig now, right?
You did. Yes.
And we used to have like 5 guinea pigs.
You did,
Big guinea pig family. We love guinea pigs. I was reading a review from a guy who booked a girl out in like San Antonio, Texas.
Okay.
And he wanted a threesome. So he booked 2 girls to have sex with. Do you know what his review said? Went to their house. Okay. If you're curious, Tom, that's called in-call. There's an in-call and out-call. Are you familiar with these terms?
No, I'm not.
I thought I was testing you there, Tom.
Yeah, good.
In-call means you're
Test
going
me
out.
away.
You're going out to them. Out-call means they're coming to you, Tom. These are the terms you're going to learn.
I will not, but continue.
You're not going to read these reviews? You're not at all curious?
Not at all.
All right, well, got to broaden your horizons.
Oh, okay, sure.
So, this guy was like, I went out to their apartment, and sex was great. The girls were pretty, except they had a lot of pets, and they made me hold their guinea pig, and I thought that was weird. It was funny, and then it just goes into how he's like, I booked an hour. He's like, I took my time. It took 20 minutes. For 40 minutes, they made me just hold the guinea pig and pet it, and they told me its name. They made me feed it a carrot. And he said, 1 star, would not recommend.
Would not recommend.
It's amazing. You go have a threesome with 2 hookers, and you end up holding the guinea pig. I shared that with my wife. She loved it. Guinea pig hooker time story. The best. Tom, do you have any questions?
Well, I mean, this has now prompted a new game I think that we should play. It's called Backpage Hooker Review or Dirty Dining Review. And then we just see which one is it going to be.
We read it?
Yeah, we'll read it and then have to decide whether this is a backdoor hooker or was it a dirty dining.
That's a great bit. You should print and then have me. And I'll tell you. Yeah. You'll have to figure out how to leave some words out.
Yeah, I would.
But I love that
You're
bit.
a bit of a connoisseur, so we may need to have somebody else come in.
Yeah, I know. Almost by the name I can tell you. I'll be like, yeah, you'll get that with LaQuisha's. But no, too much.
Too much.
Any question on my hooker review?
No, I mean, it's shined a new light on you.
I don't know if it's shining a new light.
It is.
It's a fascinating hobby. Like, it's interesting. I'm just telling you, Tom, I'm not your dad. You do what you want to do. But you read about 5 reviews, and I think you're going to be hooked. It's like reading a good book.
I think I'll definitely continue on
Because sometimes, dude, some of these dudes will write, like, it's like Yelp. You go on Yelp, and you just want to find out if the local Red Lobster's good, right? And it's like one dude's like,
interesting choice.
Good, great. Next review's like, okay. Then there's like a 92-page review about it. And you're like, I'm not going to read all that. I will read all that because I'm like, who writes this much about a hooker?
The Cheddar Bay Biscuits. Which one does it fall under? Who knows? The jury's still out. Cheddar Bay Biscuits were salty.
You never want it to taste like Cheddar Bay Biscuits, Tom. So that is a hobby of mine that now most of the internet, every one of my friends, and now definitely my mom. Everyone is aware that
we are 16 minutes into this episode.
Is that? I
mean, I think you should have saved the punchline for the end.
Well, again, it's. I'm not embarrassed of it. It's funny as hell. I think I would challenge anybody to read 5 hooker reviews and not come back and say, okay, that was actually pretty funny. Like some of them are just written so unhinged.
The fact that people feel comfortable enough to go out there and put their own business out there, being like, I know they're under anonymous names, but still, they know.
They're not even under that. It'll be like S. Johnson. No, that's Steve. That was a joke. It was a joke for Steve Johnson. That was a joke. No, I'm saying, first off, there's more than one Steve Johnson, okay?
You singled him out afterwards.
It was a joke. I'm just saying, like, you'll look at their usernames and you could figure out what they are.
People are too dumb. You mean the people leaving reviews on hookers are too dumb to be anonymous?
But Tom, it's even more than that. You have to imagine you are, okay, again, I've never booked a hooker, so I don't know, but I'm just assuming here, you're like all horned up on your work trip, right? I'm just going to say, that's probably true. And then you're like, I'm going to book a lady of the night. And then you go find out how to book a lady of the night. You call her and she comes, right?
Should look at the camera did that.
Sorry.
We're new here, guys. We're new.
And your inclination is, I should write a paragraph or 2 about that experience. That's what's weird to me. Like
Hunter S. Thompson style.
Yeah, you're like the singer. Yep. That's a great reference, Tom. I didn't know you were a Hunter S. Thompson person. So,
Fear and Loathing in Las Vegas is a great movie.
But name 2 other things.
I don't know. That's what prompted it.
Okay. You're
a lot older than me. Remember that.
First off, eat a bag of dicks. Okay, so that's my hobby. David, you ever read hooker reviews? Nope. Never, apparently just me.
Nope, just you. I'm sure, though, if you walked outside and met some of the people, the seedy people that are in this general area, I'm sure some of them have also left the reviews, so you could talk about them.
I hope someone comments below. I'm not the only one that reads hooker reviews.
This is gonna be the least commented episode we have.
No, this could be the best. This could blow us up. Okay, ready? Second story.
Story time with Mike.
Unironically, also hooker related.
Way to connect the dots.
Also, just so we're clear, my wife said, you should tell this story. I wonder if my wife set me up for failure.
Yeah,
what if
seems
my
that
wife
way.
is just building the case for divorce?
It's a well-documented
That
case.
alimony will just pour in.
I'm really glad now I don't talk enough on this podcast, but continue.
Okay, so this is a Las Vegas story.
Okay.
Okay. If you've been to Las Vegas, actually, if you've been to any casino for the most part, you will at some point, if you go off and get approached by a hooker. Are you yawning? Am I boring you, Tom, with my hooker stories?
Continue about your hookers and casinos.
Okay. If you go to a casino, you will probably be approached at a hooker you will be approached by a hooker at some point. It always happens. Doesn't matter what you look like. Doesn't matter your race, your anything. A long enough time scale, some hooker will come up. Usually how they come up to you is they go, hey, daddy, or they're like, are you lonely? Or, hey, do you have a girlfriend? Or are you here with someone? They always teach you the same thing. They also are always dressed the same way. They're usually in a black dress. They have a giant bag. Most of the time they're sitting on a machine without any money in it, just hitting the button because they're avoiding security. Again, know a lot about Vegas hookers.
Sounds like
just
it.
because I go to Vegas a lot. So one time, this was at MGM Grand. I was sitting there, and this was on a trip with my buddy. I think he was either in the room or something was up, and I was just down there, and this girl came up, very pretty. Gonna be honest, okay? Let's just be real. Some hookers are not that attractive. Some hookers are very attractive.
Okay.
You get that in the reviews too.
I
okay?
bet.
But in general,
Do you ask them? Can I see your review book? Can I see a list? Do you bring that? Do they have them laminated? They can show you like, here's all my reviews.
hi, I'm Google 5-star rated. No. So this girl came up and very pretty, very attractive girl.
Okay.
And she was like, hey, what are you doing? And I was like, gambling. And she was like, do you need a friend? And I was like, I laughed and I was like, you know what? I appreciate it, but my wife's upstairs. That was a lie, but it's what I use because most hookers go, the door's closed at this point. Because you get them where they're a little pushy. They get a little pushy. And I go, nope, my wife is upstairs. I was like, but I appreciate it. And then I said to her, I was like, but you are a very pretty girl, so stay safe tonight. And she laughed. And I went, hey, wait a minute. And she was like, excuse me? And I was like, let me ask you a question. I was like, if I give you $100, can I ask you some questions? And she was like, very confused by this.
Yeah.
But you know, Tom, I love asking people questions.
do.
I do. It's my favorite thing to do. So I was like, no, I will give you $100 cash right now. Just sit here. Let me just hit you with a few questions. And she was like, you're just going to give me money to ask me questions. And I was like, absolutely. And she was like, all right, make it $200. And I was like, fine. All right. I was up.
Yeah,
doing good
it must have been a
because-
good night.
And she goes, also, I want a drink. And I was like, no problem. Drink girl comes around, I got you. Whenever she comes around, we'll order a drink. So I hand her $200. And she sits down and she's like, what do you want to know? And I was like, man, this is my chance to ask an actual hooker questions, right? Have you ever asked a hooker questions?
No.
Tom, have you ever talked to a hooker?
No.
Are you just saying that because you would be in trouble if you said yes?
No.
You don't think that any girl you've ever talked to in your life might have been a hooker?
No.
Ever?
No.
No girl that came into Tesla to buy a car might have been a hooker.
No, strippers probably. Not probably, definitely, but
It's kind of close.
okay, fine.
All right.
But I honestly don't think I've ever talked to a hooker. And if I did, they must have did a really good job because I had no idea.
All right, question number 1 for my hooker.
Yep.
Okay. I said, what got you into this business? Right? Like, what made you, how does one start in the hooking business?
Well, my
Now,
dad started a podcast and put all his business out there.
it's going bad, guys. I'm going to sell what does mouth do? Listen, I didn't say hooker. I want to be clear. I think I was like lady of the night is what I kept saying because I think lady of the night's the right. It seems less offensive.
That's what the boomer usually refers to him as.
Okay. So I said, what got you into this? I said, maybe like a rough childhood or something like bad happened. And she said, no, she's like, my childhood was great. She's like, my mom and dad loved me. She's like, it was great. And she's like, well, let me tell you this. I used to work at Shoe Carnival, right? And she said, when I was 16, I worked at Shoe Carnival. And my manager came up to me one day and he was like a 40-year-old dude. And he said, hey, I'll give you $100 to give me a blowjob in my car. And she said, that's disgusting. And she was like, ugh, gross. And she went off and she was just doing her job in the back room, like warehouse part, putting shoes on shelves, pricing stuff. And she thought, man, I don't know if I even make $100 a day. I could go blow this guy in his car for like 10 minutes and make $100. And she said, so finally I came out and I said, deal. But I want my money up front. And he took $100 out of the cash register. He gave it to me. We went out in his Nissan and I gave him a blowjob. And I was like, you were 16 and he was 40. And she was like, yeah. And he was married and had like 5 kids. And she's like, but I had $100. And I was like, but it was gross because he's like a really old man. And I was like, okay. And she's like, went back inside and just went to work. And I was like, okay. So that was like day 1. And she was like, like the next day I said, I can make another $100 today. And I did it again. And then I did it all 5 days that week that I worked. And I made $500 plus my regular paycheck too. And she's like, just seemed like it was better money to do it that way. God. And I was like, wow, that's wild. But it stuck with me that she said nothing bad happened. So hold on to that memory.
Yeah.
Now, we're in the midst of talking, right? Her friend comes over, right? Goth baddie chick. And if you know me from this show, I had an inclination for goth baddies. Okay?
Yep.
And she said, Sarah or whatever, I don't know, whore number 1. Okay.
Oh, God. I hope
that
this
too
camera's
much?
just picking up all my uncomfortable facial expressions. But continue.
She said, are you okay? And she was like, yeah. You'll never guess what? And she's like, this guy gave me $200 just to ask me questions. And she's like, what? And she's like, you can give me $200 and I'll answer you questions. And I was like, pull up a seat, drinks included.
Oh,
okay.
You Dr. Phil'd them.
I did. I sat them both down. So I went back to my number 1 girl.
Okay.
Okay. My main bitch, if you will. Okay.
God. Just remember your wife told you to put this on the internet.
She did say that. And I said, hey, okay, what's the weirdest thing you've ever been asked to do?
This is definitely how we get demonetized.
I thought. Now, Tom, what do you think's going through your mind?
You know what, though?
What's the weirdest thing you think, Tom?
Well, my gut instinct would be that it would be actually something like disgusting and horrible. But really, it's probably going to be like some guy asked me to tie his shoes and put them away on the shelf in his closet or something.
First off, Tom, why are you kink shaming in this chat?
Don't be tying people's shoes. That's weird. Feet are gross.
I meant that you said you felt like it's going to be something gross and disgusting. Okay. Here's the thing. As a guy that reads a lot of escort reviews.
Yep.
Okay. I was preparing like you know what she said? I had a dude ask to pee on me. And I don't know if that's that weird. I didn't find that bizarre. I didn't know that was going to be the thing. No? Is that where your brain went? Like that would be
well, I mean, that's not where my brain went. Let's
Here's
be
the thing.
honest.
I'm just gonna be honest.
I also don't read hooker reviews.
I'm just saying, man.
This video is going to be hard to put up.
Why? I'm going to just post it.
I know.
The problem will be
will.
how I put pictures when I'm editing. That'll be the tough part. Okay. Tom, what I'm saying is if you go to a porn site, right, and you pull down the list of genres, I think if your genre is in that list, then it's not that weird. There's a reason that genre exists.
Okay, continue.
Okay. So she said that some dude wanted to pee on her. And I was like, okay. I was like, that's the weirdest. And she was like, yeah. And I was like, all right, did you do it? And she was like, yeah, of course I did it. He paid me like $1,000. And I was like, all right. So I switched over to my second girl.
Yeah.
And I asked her how she got started. She didn't really have a great story. She just was like, I don't know. A friend of mine told me this was a way to make money when I moved out here. And I just kind of got into it. And I was only doing like bachelor parties and stripping. And then I guess somebody offered me a lot of money to do something more than just stripping. And then here I am. Now I'm here, right?
Snowball effect.
First off, the laugh is what made this terrible. My main girl, number 1, goes, oh, I didn't tell you. When I was 12, my uncle raped me.
There it is.
Well, there we go. That's probably what got you into it more, right? But the juxtaposition of her being like, no, nothing. I had a great childhood. But then she remembered she got molested when she was 12. And I was like, oh, well, yeah, that might have contributed to why you're in this situation. So then I said to girl number 2, I was like, hey, what's like the weirdest thing you've ever been asked to do? And she was like, well, before I tell you that, my friend goes to Dubai and she gets paid $5,000 to shit on dudes' chests. Isn't that crazy?
Yes.
That's a lot of money. Also kind of gross.
Kind of?
Well, yeah, I mean,
okay.
It's gross, I guess. I'm sorry. $5,000 a dude she gets paid to go out to Dubai and do that, which is crazy because you always see those girls on Instagram being like on yachts in Dubai, and you now have to think about what they're doing for that. Tag the Sponsor. Remember that account?
No, I don't think I've ever seen that one.
Tag the Sponsor used to be a great account. He would always call out girls that were on yachts in Dubai or in like the south of France, and they'd be like, tag the sponsor. But he would do the thing like how those guys do. Like you'd swipe over and it would just be like the worst sweaty, like white fat dudes like sweating with big beer bellies. And he'd be like, come on, that's who's behind the camera. Or his comments would be like, hey, Becky, what were you doing an hour before this photo was taken? Like, it was just so funny. But nonetheless, if you remember Tag the Sponsor, comment below. But this girl said that that's what her friend did to make a lot of money. But I said, okay, so what was the worst thing? And she thought, and then she said, I had 4 Japanese guys all want to pee in my mouth at the same time. And I said, wow, okay, that's a lot. And she was like, yep. She goes, we negotiated for about an hour. I got $10,000 and then I let him do it. And I was like, $10,000 to have 4 dudes pee in your mouth, huh? And she was like, yep. She's like, guess what? I didn't have to think about rent for 6 months. And I was like, all right. So about this time, all small talk included, drinks came and went. I said, well, I appreciate all the conversation. And they said, you know what? You're a true gentleman. Thank you so much. And then they hopped on off to the next John, I assume.
Hobbled. You said hobbled at
They were
first.
young girls. Don't worry. They were not hobbling, Tom. Okay. They hopped on off.
I can promise you I did not know where this episode was going at the beginning of it.
I know. I told you I didn't tell you any of these things.
So uncomfortable. But
why is this uncomfortable? I don't understand
intense.
why you're uncomfortable. Why is this intense? David, is this intense?
I'm laughing at it because I'm on this side of the table, not putting it all out there on the internet. But keep continuing.
What would...
Nope, this isn't about me. This is about you.
No. Before I go to my third story, where are we at? We're about 30 minutes on the show. This is a short, boy.
This is going to be a short one.
Of
course it's going to be a short one.
Who's going to be mad at me?
No one will be mad at you. I will say that. Everyone.
But you're like, I'm so glad to be on this side. What are you scared of?
No. I'm saying no one will be mad at you. It would be all expected. They'd be like, oh yeah, that tracks.
Wait, you think everyone's like, oh man, I definitely thought that guy would read hooker reviews.
Oh yeah.
What does that mean?
When you told me that, there was no look of shock and awe. I was like, oh no, that tracks. It was hilarious and I laughed at it. but there was no like, wait, what? Like a meme inserts here. No.
I also want to be honest with you. I thought today we would bring this up because my wife's really been excited for me to bring this up.
Yeah.
I was going to print out like 5 or 6 reviews to read, but I want to be honest with you. I found a few of them and there's no way I could. Like just the code words alone, even if I deciphered the code words, it was just too much.
The best part too is that you don't own a printer, so you'd have to print it out at like the office or something. Oh, yeah. And then it would just be like, oh,
I would have forgotten to run
printer.
Down to the printer and grab it off, and someone would be like, "Hey, who left their hooker reviews on the printer?"
Damn it, Dewey.
Okay, so you're not shocked at my hooker interview / hooker review?
Nope, it tracks.
Okay. I don't know how I feel about it tracks.
Your wife will agree. She'd be like, yeah, it was.
Yeah, she wasn't that shocked. She was more, you know what? Now that I think about it, when we talked about it, she was like, oh, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. Listen, here's the thing. If my wife's going to try to hold this over my head or anything, she reads fan fiction. All right? She reads Harry Potter fuck stories. Okay, bro, the demented shit that's on her fucking tablet. I've opened it and read it, and it's just old men doing depraved things to Hermione. That's what my wife's reading, so she's got no room.
I also love how you were just like there's nothing to be defensive about, but fuck this. Actually, let me tell you something. I'm not just the only screwed up one.
She's gonna be mad now about this.
Oh yeah,
that's my favorite part about this. Is I went where she's gonna be like, "Oh, my husband's dumb," and she'll be like, "What did you just tell these people I read?" Here's my favorite side. You ready? Shout out because here we go. Lauren, when she was a small child.
And you dropped the name.
I can't say my wife's name.
You dropped the name.
I think I've said it before.
You have, but it doesn't mean. Okay, continue.
She got a Nintendo DSi. When she was like younger, she just used it to read smut all the time. Whatever age she was when the DSi came out. Her parents thought she was playing like Nintendogs or something. Nope, smut. She figured out how to connect it to the internet and just download smut, and she would just read smut nonstop. Okay. There you go. Listen to that. In-laws.
Oh God, just everybody
going under the train. Did you like that one, David? Yeah, you like that one. Poor pink DSi.
The things that DSi has seen. It's just like like when you like leave an image on a screen for too long, like old school CRTs, it would like
burn
burn into it.
maybe.
It just burned into it.
It's just like it's
horrible
things. Like Hermione bent over.
Nope. You didn't have to go into detail. Again, we were trying so hard to get monetized. Hey guys, please go ahead and subscribe to that Patreon.
We're gonna need the
because
Patreon.
Nothing is gonna pay on this episode.
Here's the thing. I'll make you a deal. You get 50 Patreon subscribers. That's $1 a person.
Yep.
I'll bring in my wife's smut. If we get 100 Patreon subscribers,
You're gonna
I
read
have
out
my
loud?
wife's phones from high school and college. I'll come in and read those texts live.
Oh my God.
I have them. I ordered I was like, you have these old phones? She's like, you like old stuff? You want to keep them? I was like, absolutely. I ordered chargers for them because they're like old because my wife's not young, right? They're not USB. They're like some weird kid. I opened and started reading the texts. Oh my God, 10 out of 10. How funny of an episode would it be for me to just read my wife's old texts?
Oh my God.
Are you yawning? Are we boring you?
Enough with calling me out on yawning, okay? It's a late one here. But I also am just
Grandpa.
utter
Who's a boomer now.
just in shock and awe that just how comfortable you are about putting so much stuff just on the internet.
I would never do it unless we get 100 Patreon subscribers.
Now you know my
$100, guys. That's it. 100 of you just need to add $1 into our Patreon.
Yeah. Well, according to the Patreon statistics, 85 people have viewed our Patreon, and only about 6 people have actually subscribed
that's
to
probably
it.
good stats.
Okay.
Okay. Last story, Tom. So we wrap this up because you're getting tired. You're a
Oh my
sleepy
God.
boy.
Yeah, keep
You're
blaming
a
it on
sleepy
me.
boy. Oh yeah. What? Do you want to have a marathon? Do you want to see who can make this? Who do you think would outlast who?
Oh, I'm not doubting it. Just because I yawn doesn't mean anything. Continue. Just
because I
keep
yawn
abusing
doesn't
me.
mean.
Doesn't mean I can't keep like. Anyways.
All right.
Your
So
last
this is my last story, not hooker or escorter related. All right.
Are you sure?
Pretty sure. Did you say, oh, David said, oh, he wanted a third one. David, if I can think of a third hooker story in my life, I'll let you know. Okay. So I've been told before not to tell this story
Okay.
because it's supposed to put me in a bad light. But
I think you've done a really good job at that so far, but continue.
I don't think anything is bad. It's a hobby, Tom.
Okay,
Everyone's
yeah,
got to
yeah,
have
yeah.
hobbies.
Yeah,
What's your hobby, Tom?
This isn't
Do
about
you have
me.
a hobby?
Nope. Moving on.
You have no hobby.
Nope, none. Moving on.
All right. Unfun Tom. That's
Yep.
what I'll call you.
That's
All right.
fine. Been called worse.
Okay.
Probably about you.
I've been told that this story makes me look bad, but not in a good way bad, like not in a funny way, just bad. But I think the story is funny because there's always a person that's better than you, right?
Yeah.
So what's the point of being like, oh, I'm embarrassed? Okay. So I'll just tell the story and then you got that context. That'll make sense. Okay. So if you know me, I love road rage.
Oh God, I know you do.
I love road rage.
You do.
Okay. I love it. First off, let me just tell you my school of thought on road rage.
Okay.
Okay. At any given point, I'm driving 2 cars. Okay. One of 2 cars. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Let me rephrase that.
Yeah.
Any
You're
given
not
point,
driving 2 cars at the same time.
at the same time. I got a foot in each one. I'm driving 1 of 2 cars. I'm either driving a car I really, really care about that costs me a lot of money,
Yep.
or I'm driving a car I don't care about. And it doesn't mean that car's crap. That car could be a lease. I don't give 2 F's about a lease.
No. Oh no. I know
I got
firsthand.
insurance, and it's not mine.
Yeah.
Okay?
Oh, I know firsthand. I experienced
Now,
it over the
I say
weekend.
this because this means something. If I'm out driving a very expensive car that means a lot to me, I'm maybe not going to shout something out a window. Okay. If I'm driving a very expensive car and I'm going to get into a little road rage shakeup with a person in a Nissan Altima, not going to do that. Altima don't care about their car.
No.
I care about my car. Now, on the flip side, if I'm driving a car I don't care about, I'll road rage with everyone. I don't care, okay? Because you probably care more about your car. You probably need your car to get to work, and I don't, okay? I had a garage full of them. I don't care. So here's what I'm saying. I say that because that's my equation on whether I'm going to road rage.
Okay.
But I'm here for the sport. I'm not. Most of the time, I don't even need to do it. I'm just doing it for the fun of it.
I'll say this is my favorite meme where it's like, dude's just doing it for the just doing it for the love of the
Doing
game.
it for the love of the game at this point. I will honk unnecessarily.
Oh, yeah.
I will sometimes try to do something that's just causing road rage between other people just because I think that's funny.
You paid money to get a more aggressive horn in one of your vehicles.
I did, yeah.
Like you paid actual money just to make the horn more aggressive.
It drives me nuts that people don't. Do you honk your horn, Tom?
Okay, so we've had this conversation. I do.
don't.
I do.
You
I
don't.
do. I do. Not
You're a liar.
nearly enough.
You're a liar.
No. I do. the dash cam footage is there, but it's not nearly as much as you do. So on your scale of things, it looks very minuscule. Like I don't really do it that often, but really in the grand scheme of things of normal people, it's very well within line.
You have a protected left turn and there's 5 cars in front of you, right? Guy at the light hasn't turned. The 4 cars behind him are not honking. Why is no one honking? No one notices? Everyone's forgot? No, it's just people are too polite. Honk. It's why we have a horn. I'll honk at the police. I'll honk at everyone. You can't stop me from honking. Okay? Nothing's better than when my wife's in the car and we're behind a sheriff, which she's already nervous about because my wife, for some reason, thinks at any moment we're going to prison. Right?
I wonder why.
And I go, watch this, Lauren, and the light turns green and I honk the horn. Because and it's even better when you see this from the cop and he looks into the mirror and I'm like, just me laughing. It's so funny. Okay, so back to road rage. I don't avoid it. I actively engage in it, right? I love it. You think you're gonna roll your window down and yell at me? You better come. You become with a heater, and that heater better not be like calling me fat, okay? Because I swear to God, if there's a disabled thing hanging in your goddamn, I'm going for the gut, okay? If I see a baby seat in the back seat, all right, where's the kid? Dead? Okay, I'm coming in hot, right? You want to swerve your car at me? I'm not moving. Right? You can hit me. I don't care. Matter of fact, the Tesla's almost been the unlock code for road rage for me because 1, it's got cameras everywhere, which is amazing because now I've got footage of them hitting me, right?
Yep.
And 2, it's a lease. I don't care. All right. So I say this because, and you've been there, Tom. I love it. I will roll a window down and say the worst things to a person. I love road rage, and it's funny. Also, it's funny because most road rage ends in people like their blood pressure through the roof. They're screaming. Mine usually has them looking at you, going, "How fucking funny was that?" Like I'm just doing it unnecessarily doing road rage a lot of times for no reason. So I say all that to say this.
Okay.
We all know I have a Fiat 124 Abarth.
Oh, yeah.
It's my little red 2-seater convertible.
Yep.
Okay. You do not approve of it. You're not a fan of it. You crap on me a lot about it. I love it. Top down. It's one of the best cars ever.
Yep.
So one day during the summer, I had the top down, windows down, the air's blowing through. I'm having a good day. I'm coming down a road that's a couple of miles before my house. All right. It's a 2-lane road.
Yep.
That's it, right? I hope I'm saying that right. So 1 way going this way, 1 way going this way, 2-lane, right? I look in my rearview mirror and I see this guy going into oncoming traffic to pass people. And he's done it like 3 times. This is like probably a 2 or 3 mile road.
Yeah.
I see him and I'm like, why? The speed limit on this road is 35 miles an hour. All right? What's the point? Also, let me just stop here. I'm going to zigzag a little here. I'm 100% that meme where it's like me going 100 miles an hour. Why the hell is everyone driving so slow? Me going the speed limit. Hey, slow it down, buddy. Okay. I'm 100% that guy. All right. So I see this guy doing this behind me, right? And I know that we're about to come up to a red light because it never fails.
Yeah.
Anytime I'm on this road. And I think you know what road I'm talking about.
Yeah, I do.
You're always going to hit the red light.
Yeah, always.
So he comes up and he is on my bumper, right? But now there's not enough time to turn. We're hitting the red light traffic. So I'm like staring at him and the windows are so dark tinted, but it's a Toyota Camry.
Okay.
Okay. And I hate Camry owners. Yeah. One, I hate Toyotas.
Yeah.
I hate Toyota as a whole.
Yeah, I guess I never put 2 and 2 together, but you definitely.
I hate all Toyota. Here's the thing. If I ever got to be leader of the world, I would take every Toyota owner and I would shoot them and kick their bodies into a mass grave. Because here's what I'll ask you. That seems extreme.
I mean, it is. Nope. And you know what the crazy thing about it is? If you use that same analogy at least one other time on this show.
It's my fantasy. Continue. Here's the thing. Next time you're driving and you're like, why am I going so goddamn slow? I guarantee it's a Toyota.
Well, yeah, it's usually a Toyota Camry with an 80-year-old woman behind the wheel.
Or a Prius. Or a Corolla.
Someone's Gram just trying to go and get
a Highlander with a dent in the bumper. It's always something, right? It's always a Toyota.
Okay.
So I look up and, like I said, the darkest tinted you've ever seen on windows.
Okay.
But it's a Camry. So one, I'm like, why don't you slow down, Camry? Okay. What are you? You late for your child support hearing? Like, okay, slow down. Okay. So light turns protected left. So we're going to make a left turn. Okay, onto a bigger road. This is a 4-lane highway.
Yep.
The guy in front of me looks like he's about 800 years old.
Checks out.
Okay. And he's in like an old like Cadillac Brougham or something limited.
Okay.
This creaky boy just goes out to the right lane, right? He's going as slow as he could be. Tom, what do you think my chestnut checkers move is?
Oh, you're gonna go right to the left lane.
I'm going
Just
left
slow
lane.
that bitch
and
down.
I'm pacing the Cadillac Brougham. Got the top down. Just all I'm thinking is this guy has got to be losing his mind.
He's just zigzagging back and forth.
Oh, he's
too.
zigzagging back and forth between us, flashing his brights, just laying on the horn, right?
And you just got yacht rock turned all the way up.
I don't need not a care in the world. Not a care in the world, Tom.
Caribbean Queen.
And then I look over at Cadillac Brougham guy. He doesn't
even know.
2 feet underneath the steering wheel. He ain't got a clue of what's going on.
He doesn't know where he is.
He doesn't even know he's alive right now.
He's also listening to yacht rock.
I want to be clear. People have done this to me before,
Oh,
and it's the most
I'm sure.
infuriating thing a
I've
person
also
can
been in the
do.
car for that.
It is. There's nothing more infuriating than when it's like 2 or 3 cars on the highway lined up, and you're like, what, "Are you all retarded?"
Yeah.
But again, I'm doing this for the bit. Also, I love road rage. Also, it's a Toyota Camry. Okay. Who cares?
Yep.
So finally, I just start to slow down a little, right? And then I come down just where I'm like, and I put my right turn signal on. So I think the guy behind me, I'm going to let him know, hey, man, I'm going to get over.
Yep.
No, I don't. I just parked that front bumper against the side of the bumper with the turn signal on. I'm like, there's just a little paprika, little garlic salt.
You salt bayed
just
it.
getting a little extra, right? And then
God.
I dumped the gear because I'm not going to drive behind Cadillac guy. He's driving like fucking 10. He's going 10 under the speed limit. I'm not doing that. Finally, click the turn signal off, gas the car, go move in the right lane. I'm like, you've suffered enough, right? We've gone half the way down this road. Tom, the events that I'm going to describe to you next are what I would call one of the few times in my life where I'll say this statement. Boy, did I fuck up. Okay?
Did you make a mistake?
Yeah. Very few times in my lifetime have I thought to myself, gulp, oh boy.
Welp.
Well, that Toyota Camry pulled up alongside me, and I was grinning because I was like, it's road rage. We're going to yell at each other. It's funny. I see the window go down. Now, depending on who you are in our audience, you might go, oh, I bet he was black, right? He's black? No, he was white. But here's the thing, Tom. When there's a white guy who's built like, you know what I want you to think of? All right?
Okay.
I want you to think of Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson.
But white?
But white. But also, think about the events that have to go through a person's life where they decided to tattoo a python across their forehead and down the side of their face and their neck.
Yep.
Okay?
And you're like, I have Python shoes. We can be friends.
Well, I do love python shoes, but what I don't like is a guy that has muscles on muscles on muscles that decided to tattoo a snake across his face who just rolled the windows down. And he said to me, pull into that parking lot. And he just pointed to the Citgo gas station on the corner. And I went, why? And he goes, I'm going to drag you out of your faggot fucking Fiat. And I'm going to kill you. Now,
So aggressive.
the thing with road rage, Tom, is you're gonna get a lot of people tell you they're gonna kill you. Okay, but here's the thing. All right, when you got a guy with his wife sitting next to him, he's not gonna kill you. That guy's he's got to get to bingo that night. All right, or I don't know, Tom. What do you do during the week? He's got to do something like that.
Yeah.
Okay. Thanks, David. It was a subtle swipe, Tom.
Yeah, I know. Oh, we all know. You're the guy getting pulled out of your Fiat on the
This
side
guy
of the road.
did not look like he had a lot going on that day other than killing me.
Other than you.
Okay.
You. That's it.
So I went, yeah, okay, buddy. And he went, I'm not kidding. Pull into that parking lot. And I went, oh boy. Now, here's the thing, Tom. Normally, I carry a gun with me. All right. When you're what I call edging with road rage, all right? You gotta stay strapped, okay?
Yeah.
You never know when the situation's gonna escalate. Well, here's the thing about my Fiat. I usually don't carry in my Fiat, all right? A little tighter of a car, not comfortable to have a gun on, right?
Okay.
No real glove box. They don't put a glove box in the Fiat 124.
No.
So I usually have a gun. So I didn't have a gun with me. So here's what happened, Tom. We slow rolled up to the Citgo, and he pulled in, and he got out of his car. And he stood there waiting for me to pull in. And then he was just yelling, "Pull fucking in here, asshole." And I just stared at him and I went, "No thanks." I just went straight because the light turned green. Now, Tom knows this area, so I'm not trying to dox myself here, but that gas station has 2 exits.
Yeah, it does.
Right?
Yeah, I know.
And the road I'm about to turn on is the other exit.
Yeah.
And boy, I heard a Toyota Camry screeching through the gas station parking lot. But because the heavenly Lord is on my side, right?
Yep.
Mike Smith gets that. Oh. Your face. I assume he's still a big fan of ours. I shot down the road before my house and I whipped it down my road and then I flew down my driveway, out through my back fence, down through my yard and parked my faggot Fiat behind my house. And I was like, you know what? We're gonna leave this car here for a few days just to make sure everything's safe. Yeah, so that's the time I almost got killed. Now, here's why I got told by a few people I shouldn't tell that story. One, they go, makes you look weak, like you can't defend yourself. Listen, I don't care how strong you are. There's always somebody stronger.
Yeah.
I can confidently say if I was a dumb person and I went, you know what? I'll fight this guy in the parking lot. I might be coming out of my coma about now. Yeah. Maybe. The feeding tube might still be in. Yeah. All right.
You'd be talking like Christopher Reeve through a computer.
So I don't tell this story like, oh, I'm a wuss and I can't fight. I'll fight. I'm good for that. I'm scrappy. But there's a point where what do you want to get that beat up? Like, I don't want to get that beat up. Do you get what I'm saying, Tom? It's also just a funny story. It's deserving. It's me getting what I probably deserve.
I can't wait for AI to make Scrappy Mike as the image for this podcast. So that's my favorite part.
You'll be like Scooby-Doo and I'll be Scrappy.
No, something like that. Yeah.
All right. Yeah. So, but one of my other favorite parts of this story is that I went inside and I told my wife. I was like, you know what just happened to me? And she was like, what? And she told the story and she was like, wow. And she was like, so does that mean you won't be taking your faggot Fiat to work tomorrow? And I went, nope. And for about a year, every time we would go somewhere, she would say, do you want to take your faggot Fiat? That's really what I would get called all the time, nonstop. So much the fact that many of her friends even use it too. They'd be like, hey, look, there goes Mike and his faggot Fiat. Yeah, so, yep, a lot of kids. So there you go, Tom. That's my road rage story.
I actually have somewhat of a similar road rage story.
Yeah. Did you see a guy in a red?
Yeah. I was. So it was weird. I was driving this little Toyota Camry, and this guy got in front of me. No. So I was leaving my neighborhood, and you know my neighborhood. It's very treacherous to come shooting across.
Yep.
And there was a car coming down the road. It was at nighttime. Car coming down the road. I only saw one single light, so I thought it was a motorcycle. So I pulled into the one lane closest in on the left side, and it turns out there was a big truck that was in that lane.
Like lifted truck or?
Yeah, lifted truck. Okay. But he only had one headlight. So again, I was like, oh shit. So he then swerved around me and then swerved in front of me and then just started fishtailing all over the road, spun one time and then went back straight. And I was like, oh shit, that's crazy. And I just proceeded to keep going my happy way. So I get over to the lane and then he proceeds to get it behind me with his shitty eBay lights and put all of his light pods on and everything, flashing at me. And I was like, this is bit aggressive, and he's swerving around me, swerving up next to me and slowing down. Meanwhile, I'm just listening to probably Hanson, just cruising.
Hanson?
Yeah.
Bop. You like Hanson?
It's a great song. I was not listening to Hanson, but anyways.
Liar.
Just proceeding to go get my little late night treat after watching Game of Thrones. So we're talking, it's 11 o'clock at night.
Okay.
So then I make a right hand turn to another road and to make the left hand turn in to get into the plaza where all the food is at. And he was all the way to the left and then cut all the way across hard to follow me onto the road. So then I was like, this is a little weird. So I gave myself a little gas, came through the parking lot, go into the drive-through lane, and then he proceeded to lose me in the parking lot. So as I was coming around, I see him slow rolling the parking lot, just like in Friday, where the dude's Debo's coming down the street looking for the dude. It's one of those scenes where he's coming down, and I was just cruising behind the thing. So it's come around to the the window to order my food. He stops and reverses very aggressively to screech the tires and flies backwards and then stops, stares at me. I stare back at him and then he proceeds just to leave. And then like I cruise up to the window and the guy's like, that was weird. I was like, it was very aggressive for no real reason. Mind you, I didn't get threatened to be pulled out of my car. No one tried killing me.
Well, I mean, I think that's usually, and again, that's why I treat road rage as almost an Olympic sport, because that's usually what happens. It's just, again, here, tip to the audience, and this is, you take this advice as you want. I'm not.
Advice from Mike.
I don't condone road rage at all. Okay, but I'm saying if you're going to get into the hobby,
you don't condone it. It sounded like you just did a whole 20 minutes on it.
What I said is I do it.
Okay.
There's a guy that does heroin. He doesn't want everyone to do heroin, but he's going to give you some tips if you do the heroin.
Again, we're trying to get monetized.
Listen, if you're gonna get into the sport of road rage, here's my recommendation to you.
Yeah.
Okay. Do it with women first. Okay?
Oh, God.
All right? Because you'll find that ladies will do more road rage than you think they're going to do. You always think it's going to be a dude. No, it's ladies. But this is why it's kind of unfair.
This is why the women on the internet love you. Continue.
I'm married. I don't need them to love me. But here's why it's unfair for the ladies. Can I be honest with you?
Yep.
Okay? If you're a lady and you cut me off and then I honk and you give me the finger and then we get to the light and I roll my window down and I go, why did you honk at me? Which again, I'm always respectful to the ladies. And you go, fuck you, fat ass. Here's the secret. All right? I'm going to follow you now because I don't care where you are in your life as a woman. The minute that someone starts following you of the other gender, all you're thinking is, holy shit, I'm going to get sexually assaulted tonight. Okay? It doesn't stop, right?
Remember the other episode? You got to say SA. You can't say these
Spanish
things.
Americans?
No.
Oh, okay.
God damn it. Have fun editing this episode so we can make this episode go live.
Actually, I think YouTube's changing, Tom. Let me kick my feet up here and tell you. There's a big YouTuber I'm watching. Do you remember when everyone was saying unalived?
Yeah.
Because you couldn't say suicide or anything?
Murder or anything.
No, he was saying those words. So I think we're lightening up here. Back to what I'm saying, Tom.
Okay.
All right? If you were a lady and your lady balls got big enough, all right, to say some stuff like that, I'm going to follow you. And I'm not going to stop following you.
You should probably not put this on the internet.
And you know what? You zoom into that parking lot and start doing circles around the lot. I'll keep doing circles. Call the police, all right? Because here's the thing. It's a fun game, all right? We're all in here. You wanted to start playing the game, and now you're mad that you're losing the game because I'm not worried about being murdered by some guy, all right? Well, one time I was, but what I'm saying is, ladies, don't even get into it as a hobby. It's not worth it because you already are behind the ball. You're starting out worried. You're prey, not predator, right? So you're already prey generally. That's why they make mace and stuff. Poor women. I feel bad. Ladies, go take courses, but also, ladies, don't honk at a guy and then roll the window down and try to call him fat or something. And they didn't call me fat, but I'm just, the audience, the comments. They love the comments. But yeah, no, if you're trying to get into the sport, start with women. Because you will see the fear on their face. All right?
I love the people.
You ever pull across their house and just sit and stare, man?
No.
Listen, if you were going to say that shit out the window to me, now, good luck sleeping tonight.
She's always going to be looking out the window for the Fiat.
Yeah, you're going to be up all night. Was that the cat knocked something over? Or was it the guy you decided to road rage breaking in?
Little Fiat.
Hey, Dennis. Thank you. We love you. Your son's great. He doesn't look up hookers. He doesn't talk to hookers. He doesn't follow women to their house. What a goddamn saint.
Just remember, you put this stuff on the internet.
Probably should get a better friend, though.
That's what everyone keeps telling me.
Oh, now I'm sad. Oh, great, this show. Hey, get on the Patreon. 50 subscribers. And what did I say I would do at 50? Oh, I'll read you what my wife reads. 100 subscribers, I'll read you your texts from high school and college on her old phones. I have them, promising.
Yeah.
You need 100. So we're at how many Patreon subscribers? 8. 108 subscribers. And I'll come out in these heaters. Oh, she's not going to be happy about this.
No.
But you know what? She got to pay the price. You got to be in this game. You got to have all the skin in the game. Anything, Tom?
At what tier does she have to pay to make it not go out?
Ooh. I don't know. She doesn't make a lot of money. She's a stay-at-home mom. Stay-at-home petri dish at this point. Fuck. She's growing it. We've talked about this.
I know, but every time it's
all right.
It's fine.
Tom, do you want to add anything?
No, just how I love the peaks and valleys of these episodes. We have a guest on there, and it's like wholeheartedly, and then we do a host show. And I just cringe. You just have it in you. And I gotta
get it out. I gotta get it out.
I know people that watch this. Please stop.
Who watches this?
I know the people that watch this.
Oh yeah, I know. Hi, Mom. Hey,
That's it.
subscribe. Love you. Bye.